Alright, that should be working again. It's a little annoying, since one of the updates in OBS, it just craps out randomly. There's nothing wrong with the internet connection, it's just loses connection to Twitch for some reason. Alright, we do have a few guys popping over there. Let's tell them specifically that that's the one they're supposed to be joining. Alright. And we have occupied Albania. Let's go and befriend Bulgaria. Albania yields, of course. So submits to Italy. So I don't think that's too much earlier than usual. Let's throw half of these guys down here. Take Belgrade, and is that Skopje? Yeah. Yeah, of course, did it from the wrong end. That's more like it. Delete that one. Accidentally deleted that one. Ah, Jesus. Alright, get them going. There and there. So, Pact of Steel is where we start playing ahistorically. We'll go Italy first. Spanish-Italian alliance. You can try befriending Portugal and befriend Turkey. Because if you're doing the same, well, if Germany's doing what we did before, then as Italy, even though you won't be in the Axis, you know, you let Germany take whichever ones they happen to get, even if they get Yugoslavia, then you try and get Turkey, because if Germany take Greece, usually they go to war with Turkey to sweep through to get down to the canals. What you can do instead as Italy is befriend Turkey and try and get them in the new Roman Empire, while Germany have whatever they've managed to grab. Usually they can get Hungary and Romania, or if Germany's not focusing down here, Italy can actually get most of these countries into the new Roman Empire themselves. Zaragoza, Barcelona. So that's the one retaking this. Alright. Be great to attack them right now. What do we want? Conscription, I mean, situation there's okay. Let's go with War Industrialist. Giacomo Acerbo. We have 10 civilian factories. Thank you, Albania. And we are starting to make the light tanks. Wasn't motorized supposed to be above that? No, motorized we had. Alright, so support equipment is the biggest issue at this point. So, yeah, I think we'll do that with the next ones, and then towed artillery. Because artillery's fine. Yeah, so we need support equipment the most. Tanks, planes would be nice to have. Zaragoza is gone, so they will have to get into Barcelona. Shouldn't take them very long at all now, though. 94% in favour of the defenders. We're at -9 for creating a faction. Yeah, could have been good to actually push through to Italy first instead of doing Albanian occupation. All depends on how long the Civil War takes for them to win. Whether you can get them to join the new Roman Empire. But then, yeah, they'd have to be losing, wouldn't they? But same as in the German one that I showed before, you want to try and get them in your faction during the Civil War, because otherwise they get that modifier for 2 years, which will only be 39. So, yeah, depending how rough you're playing it in multi. Barcelona's about to fall. Yeah, I can't remember for Italy. Where's their extra research slots there? Yeah, so that'd be a typical path running through the Ethiopian War, logistics, etc. Alright, Italy first. Let's actually start building the New Roman Empire. Non-aggression back to Bulgaria is definite. So as soon as we do the Italy first, Bulgaria are the ones we started with. Where is it? Bulgaria. Well, it's all talking about Bulgaria. It doesn't specifically say it yet, but they do automatically create it. Alright, so Civil War's over. They do like us, but you can see how much that's dropped because neither they nor we are at war, so they're not going to be able to come in. The other thing is they have, recovering from Civil War, no, it must always be 1942, I don't know, never bothered looking at that properly. So they won't be able to join us until April of 42, we're not going to be playing for that long in this campaign. And we have 10 too many, whoops, been keeping an eye on them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put them in another army under Praska. And got more coming up. Alright, this guy will be over here also. We'll end up putting him over here, probably. And then go there. Pretty sure we can't. No. Has to be connected. It's a colony state. And a colony state. And the army, the air forces, yeah, they're fine as they are. So this one takes a lot more because you have to control everything Spanish, French, and the British stuff over there. So we're not going to be realising Roman ambitions to become Imperium Romanum. If we're going to do this as an actual single player campaign, then yeah, but we're doing multiplayer rules, so quite different. Especially having to get into France without Germany doing it. Though you can do naval invasions down here if you have the fleet built up. And the Hindenburg has survived. Alright, mechanical computing. Now we go radio. And yeah, I was going to delete their other order over here now. That was the wrong one again, wasn't it? It was this one. Alright, so all of them go there. And they go there. So Yugoslavia would have had no chance at all if we did that fabrication for the claim. Still takes 115 days. But because they're spread between these three, it's even easier than it is as Germany going through the Austrian territory. Alright, it's 37. We want this one, 312-ish days. Oh, we never did a group leader. Rodolfo Graziani, no. Extra entrenchments. So you got inflexible strategist versus cautious. We could just throw in, no, screw it, go Badoglio.
Pronto, signore.
Pronto.
Pronto, signore.
And then we do have some points we could spend if anybody... Oh, okay. You know what? No, we'll leave that on there. Then we'll switch these guys to have one as well. And these guys. Italy first, done. Italy seeks extensive military pact. So again, if we were playing multiplayer, this is the point that everybody in chat starts shitting on you. What are you doing? You're supposed to play properly. And you say, well, I've followed all your rules, so screw you. Befriend Greece, befriend Turkey. Let's go befriend Greece. We're going to go through for claims on Turkey as quickly as we can. And obviously we're not going to be able to do any of this. We're going to jump over to Bulgarian land, push down there. So as you can see, they're automatically in Novus Imperium Romanum. We'll get the pop-up anytime we're allowed to invite anybody else in, but since we're jumping straight through, Greece might. And then, what was the other one? Romania. If you go up this way, you can get Romania and Greece in. Yugoslavia are much trickier to actually get in Romanum. And then, yeah, Spanish-Italian alliance. What's the thing for this? One of these must be true. France doesn't exist. France is capitulated, or France is fascist. So usually you can't do that until Germany's done his thing, rolling through them. It's 37. Yeah, let's... Yeah, it's a bit too far ahead of time. Let's push this. And off you get. I don't think you start with boosts on land doctrine. Well, you do have one. So we could have done that, but it's just a planning one. So not too important for Italy to do them quickly. And Earhart survived as well. So he's going treaty with the USSR. Now supply. Yeah, supply's fine for them. How are we looking with support equipment? 120 days, 2,500 days for the tanks. Yeah, because we're not really into that yet. Support equipment, got another couple to come in there. Still building up the production efficiency as well. So it will be less than 120 days. Ooh, not too many guys in there now. British purges in the Soviet Union. Chinese United Front has formed. Alright, so here comes that point. July of 37. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, they can... You know what? Forget that. They'll come directly to this border, since we're allowed to now. Moving through to Ankara, given the opportunity. And quickly, before any of these finish, they auto-join him. Missed one. And Solu. Alright, modify the government for... Yeah, see, Italian guys are pretty weak. Rocket scientists. Again, there's nothing much that's good in there. Go for the infantry equipment designer. And grab this last one. Come over there. And that did attach, so that's all good. They'll join on to this one. And we'll sort out these three armies before the war starts. The first time I did this, I did have Yugoslavia, so I can't remember what the difference was to get Yugoslavia there. Ah, you do befriend instead of claims, right. And then you can still do everything else. Yeah. So you do this and then they join you rather than having to go and conquer them. So that was a mistake I made this time. And then the the thing is Romania, Yugoslavia, Greece, Bulgaria, and Italy all team up, and then you can take Turkey. And by that point, because it's still low enough, you can actually get through them pretty easily. Also because this would be, where are we? A couple of percent lower from claims, so you don't have that 3% there. Alright, research, that's 39, it's way too soon. None of that. Artillery, I've got a bonus, so let's go into war artillery boost. Alright, we have befriended Greece. And we shall befriend Romania, or let's just do the claims on Turkey. Then we'll befriend them after. We'll just get started with this one. Non-aggression pact request from Greece is definitely acceptable. Can invite them to faction. Soon as world tension is at 40%. Because they are non-aligned, they will be for quite a while. Who was the other one? Romania. Yeah, same problem with them. But if we had finished the, what was it, Ethiopian War more quickly, then would be an entire focus ahead. So you could have done this that much faster. So it can be important to do the micro on the Ethiopian War to force their capitulation within the first 70 days. Or first 80 days. Because you get that 10-day grace period. We have low manpower. If you say so. 29 at a time. How are we actually looking here? It's just support equipment shortage. So everything else is looking good. Making half a tank a day, is it? 4 tanks per week. Yeah. After these 3, that'll be good though. About to finish another one. So support equipment up. Good. Looks like this needs to be sorted out. Importing 32. Well, let's do it this way around. And then that's not enough of a problem. So this is the bit that I always forget to keep an eye on, is the actual trade window. Alright, so claims on Turkey are coming. Let's start sorting this out. We'll just cancel all of their orders because France shouldn't be an issue. He is already on there. Let's actually cancel him as well. Give them an army order instead. So we don't have to worry about the micromanagement with making sure there's overlap between individual armies' orders. And that was this guy coming out before they were ready. All good for them. So what is that? 8 plus 24 would be 32. Minus the one that obviously he didn't assign. 181st Alpha Division Defender. Right, so you can see, as Italy, it's a lot slower than it was against Germany. Game's looking a little chunky at the moment too, for some reason. You know what? I'm going to go open up Task Manager, have a look at why it's doing this. CPU's kicked up. Alright, just make sure. For some reason on my computer, Python keeps opening randomly. Let's turn off this one as well. Yeah, that one keeps reopening. Alright, so at least Python's off, so CPU's at 45%, should be fine. Are the Soviets doing something annoying? No. Do just get these random slowdowns in this game. Yeah. Let's have a look at which processors are being used. Okay, which one that's in. We go performance, open resource monitor. 2, 3, 4. Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's something to do with the way they do this. The 5th core is at about 100%, everything else is around 30 or 40%. Should send a message to Paradox, let them know about that. Something wrong with their multi-core threading that causes the game to jump like this. I don't know particularly why it's the 5th core. Something to do with one of the recent optimization changes they made. Alright, what are we looking at? 28 days. And we have radios. 39, that's a little too soon, but... Oh no, we didn't do land doctrine. Just push through that one super fast. And this is still under 25%, so Turkey shouldn't be backed by anyone too important. Romania, again, that's one where if we had have done befriending Romania before we pushed down this way, then Romania would be with us instead. But at the moment it would take them too long. You can't do this till 40% either. So yeah, I mean, if Germany's been doing stuff, then we could do this faster. Hungary, I think, want to... No, if we were at war, I think it would say they'd prefer to join the Axis. Which is why it can be useful for Germany to dissolve the Axis, because if Italy's not going to join it, then, you know, what do they care? Then you get Germany to join Novus Imperium Romanum. Can be hilarious. Alright, 20 days, 23rd of October. Will be good to go. What's Germany up to? Coal liquidization. Yep, that's a typical path in multi as well. Go through 4-year plan, autarky, coal liquidization, synthetic rubber to get to extra research slot, because Germany needs to do a lot of synthetic refineries, because their biggest problem as soon as they're at war with the Allies is the oil and rubber. There's nowhere they can get it from, so they can't make more tanks. So yeah, pushing through that and through their research into synthetic oil. Both of these paths equally, I guess, do like these first 5. They do get a bonus on their research there as well. Get 75% for synthetic resources, so you want to maybe do some of them early. So there's still no oil and rubber here until you get down to Iran and Iraq, and then you get like seed basing for stuff through there, but can be a hassle. And of course Hungary, dealing with everybody's planes, so you hand off your air force to Hungary once they're in your faction, which they are pretty close at the moment. We could actually, not party popularity, where's their improved relations. Alright, we have artillery, we'll boost all this one. -3. Takes a few days. And of course we're offset from everyone else by 30 days as well, because of the support nationalist Spain taking 30 days instead of 70. Alright, the other issue. We don't have access through there. And we can't get access from them. And I'm trying to remember how I usually do this. It's usually just because we do the focus properly, so we can actually get through. If you do befriend Yugoslavia, then your armies can get through. Greece should let us through though, shouldn't they? Alright, ask for military access. And then claims on Turkey are there. We will get onto this line here instead for now. Want to not get into the mountains if we can help it, but go and take all the rest of that good gear. You know what, let's do that with 2 armies. Spread them out a little, we'll sort this army out. At this point, of course, everybody's already screamed at us for playing ahistorically, but still according to their own rules. Alright, chuck them down here, moving wherever. Just so that we can attach that. So a lot of these are about to finish. And forgot to select the focus, which is supposed to be befriending Romania, so we've lost a few days on that. But everybody's looking good. Hungary, same problem, the 40%, of course. So let's just go and declare the war and see if Romania actually want to do this or not. Have to call in allies to this, otherwise you can't actually attack. There's bypassed befriend Romania, so they have gone with it. Go after France at this point is the way we'll go. Alright, and it's only on 22%. It's only worth 3% for that. So yeah, the monthly tick downs were being used pretty well. Volunteers from Germany, let's say no. Mostly because we want to keep this down. Japan already, yeah, they declared their war. So if we keep this under 25, then France will be able to declare on without them being guaranteed. And yeah, very hard to get over this river with Italian troops. We'll just keep the pressure on. This as well will take a while. You have to grind on them for a bit, but eventually they'll start breaking, and as soon as they break here, you can just rush through. Could, of course, micro it for getting through a little easier. Yeah, recovering from Civil War, that minus 200. So it's impossible to do them before 42, unless you manage to get them during the Civil War, which usually requires them to be losing and then end up winning. Which isn't a problem, because once they join your faction, you can send everybody over there and join their war. See, winning the only one that's not across the river. Currently war with Turkey and Kingdom of Romania for the oil. And what's this? Chromium. Yeah. Lots of chromium in Turkey for like medium tanks and junk later on. Last of these will be ready 14th of January. Yeah, it's a month and a bit. And after that, we would want to start making celery divisions. Missing many light tanks, so we just do it with the one. And they could, you know, auto-join wherever, doesn't really matter. And of course, we have to worry about these guys now. Convoy escorts over there. Can't do Black Sea because they control that. We just need to let these guys survive as best as possible. We lose a couple of ships to the Turks, but their entire fleet's pretty small, 16 to 18. Tempted to restart this one to show how it works if you pick that focus properly. We're befriending Yugoslavia instead of the claims. I forgot. I thought it was the German one, where you get the automatic annexation war goal. Of course you don't, it's Italy. Alright, we would push into the MAB 38s. Alright, so we'll get across the river. Only need to win it at one point. Yugoslavian request for the sales of airplanes. We can't spare a thing. Alright, next, government modification is where we'd think about closed economy. Which really only gives us steel and aluminium, which we already have, so it's fine. It's good just to do it, because you want it later in the game and you just forget by then. Alright, time for at least a tiny bit of manual handling, so we can come around the back. Like that. And everyone else will get through and just start attacking from either side to slow them down. Unfortunately, that bit didn't quite work as desired. Leave one of these behind just to stick on him. We've got the strength but not the organisation, it's just our guys don't have organisation either. Yeah, alright, I'll get there eventually. So, starting to get these guys done. Alright, go after France. Obviously we're not going to use yet. At this point, you start just looking for other things to do. So I'm not going to worry about war with the UK. We'll worry about Ethiopian war logistics. And of course, the threat's going to keep coming down until Germany do anything naughty, like Anschluss, which is going to take us up to 31. So yeah, we would want to attack France while they can't join the Allies. So you know what? We will bring one of these back. And we'll do this and just not head in. So I was hoping to get both of these capitulated before we started the French one. We're a little too weak though. If we had Yugoslavia on the side, would have worked. Extra divisions from there. Yeah, it's looking a bit rough. And only have about a day. So unfortunately, we'd have to declare this now. Call in allies. You have to do that before they get to join. But at least they've walked out of their forts at this point. If they've even... No, they haven't even built them yet. Well, there goes Austria. So now it's up to 36%. But they can't be guaranteed. That's not good. Alright, research slot would go... Keep walking in this way. Now, these guys need to be told... No, they've actually ordered it for themselves. And we've got a lack of manpower at this point, which is also fine. Alright, so now, the benefit of letting France walk in a bit is you don't have to attack him in the mountains. You can break him in the plains. Well, mostly there's a few mountains and hills around here. But you can break him in easier land and then push them back even more easily through there. They've got a longer front here, so fewer men. Germany can sweep through just super easily across them now. If Italy are the ones that bring France in first, then usually, well, if they're a player, they won't fall for it as reliably. But as AI, they pull so many troops down here that Germany can just romp through without any real effort. Not like Germany have to put a lot of effort into beating France. Alright, so we'll give this one another 5 minutes. Yeah, it's going pretty badly. Usually it goes a lot better than this. And 38, what are we looking at? You would go soon. For now, good paratroopers or other things there. What would be good, though, is recon. Outdated equipment is the artillery, which isn't actually being made, so let's go with that. Lost the things that are over there. Oh, wow. Breakthrough over to Roman area. Is that Emilia Romagna? No, Latium. Yeah. Well, you get the general idea anyway. So the mistake I made was supposed to befriend Yugoslavia. Then you can push through this stuff really quickly. You have Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, and then as soon as this tension comes high enough, you'd have Greece and Hungary. You see their war they may be drawn into, they would rather be part of the Axis. So in multi, if you can get Germany to disband the Axis, then you can do that easier. But as soon as they start their war, in 39 typically, then these guys would be quite happy to join you. But yeah, that is following multiplayer rules for the Italian start and playing it a little different, just to annoy people. Now we'll have a look at what you would do as Japan. So, new game from 36, Japan. We select. So this one depends a lot more on whether there is a human USA or not. So, research slots. Because, again, you're a major starting with 4, and then you jump through the usual. Free civilian factories. We're going to knock out full amounts in these, and then Japan doesn't start with fantastic stuff on the rest. So you can come in here and build up these to try and integrate them quickly, depending on how long you're expecting things to go. But you just sort of knock out your way through them. Now, if you are doing this in single player, then you grab everybody you've got and you bring them in. In multiplayer, you don't want to do that so much because you have to worry about naval invasions as Japan. What we're going to do though is just push infantry equipment and then support equipment and towed artillery. We'll leave the planes being made for now. Do the usual thing with building these quickly. Want to put this one at the bottom because that will remain automatic. Now, this is one that I can remember. It's the Sun Kantai is who everybody organises into. So while it's paused, you can knock this out. Alright, Sun can't die. And then they'll usually tell you that you have to purge the Cohoda faction is one of the common rules in multiplayer. So we'll do that. What we're going to be pushing through is Liaison Conference. Then you have to do both of these. So you go Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere. People will think that you're going to do Marco Polo Bridge, but then you sign the Tripartite Act, strike south, do the Non-Aggression Pact, and then secure the Philippines. Usually, while you're doing one of these two, somebody will say, "Oi, what are you doing?" And you say, "Oh, I want the Non-Aggression Pact with the Soviet Union." But then as soon as you just go for secure the Philippines, the American player, assuming there's a human one, will say, "Oi, what the hell's going on?" And then everyone will start cracking the shits at you. What we're going to do until then, let's just start this up. So it's speed 4. We need to grab some steel. Oil, we can get up to full. Rubber from the British Raj, let's say. And of course that slows down construction, but don't mind too much at this point. No visions in training, we're just going to go for HoI Shadan. And we want quite a few of them. And what we want to do is tell them to start in this port province. And the other thing I forgot, I want to get the fleet starting to come together. Now you do have some glitches in multiplayer that make this harder. And we're going to go with Blockade Runner because we want the fleet speed while retreating. And he's good for that. Other thing is you need to grab some of the Air Force so you can put them on Californian territory in time. We're going to bring them down here to start with though. They'll sort out the Philippines a little. Alright, bring them together. It's going to merge these. You can drop these out to actually save them for use by the carriers, but we'll leave them there for now. Some of them can reach there, so let's say South China Sea and then the Philippines, and then it splits between them with what they can actually reach. And you should go around choosing these guys and tell them to actually activate as well. Apparently we're not allowed to. Yeah, you have to do that when they're actually in a fight. Now, instead of East China Sea, we're going to tell them to base. That's a 6. That's a 10. Right, in Chugoku. And we'll move, well, we don't need to move them up there because we're going to give them orders. They're going to search and destroy. Now, what we're going to be doing is getting into the Hawaiian Ridge, the Micronesian Gap, and the Eastern Micronesian Sea. But this is where the bug comes in. We need to create the fleet. We have to pull out all of these 2s, and for some reason, sometimes in multiplayer, see, it's doing it right now. I can only click on one of them at a time, and the rest aren't allowed to join. So what we have to do is keep going, create new fleet, and just do these really annoyingly. So the reason we're pulling out all of the 2s is that they have a longer range than the 1s, and you start with 6 ships that are a 2. So let's find, pretty sure there's a destroyer down here, and then there's subs at the bottom. Destroyer, no, it must be a heavy cruiser too. There it is. So I thought it was a multiplayer bug. It must just be a bug in the game at the moment for some reason. Is that? Yeah, there he is. And I've lost count. Is there another one? No, that sounds right. So then what you want to do is grab these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you weren't allowed to put in a single fleet, bring them together, put them under number of ships in first contact, plus the other stuff. This is going to become the Californian fleet, if we need the reminder at any point. And Sun Kantai will be the main fleet. And then this is saying, yeah, it's disappeared. Alright, we need more steel. Let's grab that from the Yanks. And decisions available. Alright, so the thing is Japan, I don't know, I don't play them much properly, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to go about picking these. Let's go military factories. We'll prioritise steel for guns at a minimum. Almost purge the Cohoda faction at this point. Now we need more steel. Aluminium, this is for